club. I think one of the most important and effective golf clubs that you can put into your bag. We see Zach Johnson hit it 2 times in a row, both on 3 and on 4. Now, why does this thing scare you? Well, because you think you got to do something superhuman to get it up into the air. I want to give you 2 ideas that are going to help you improve your hybrid shots and make this one of the easiest clubs for you to hit. First, don't move that ball so far forward in your stance. I see so many people get the hybrid out and they want to nudge that ball up in the air because they think if they put it up forward, I'm going to hit it high. No, no, no. Move it back a little bit, because when you get it into the back of your stance, now you're going to be able to get this club attacking the ball a little bit more downward. It's going to throw the ball up into the air. So when I go into this position and I start to get that ball moved back a little bit in my stance, now what I'm going to get is I'm going to get a solid shot. You can see that take off right away at the flag. So staying down, getting that contact is really important with the club traveling in a downward direction. This is why we call it a hybrid, because it's in between the wood and the iron. The second thing that you want to pay attention to is what you're doing with your chest. And for those of you that are struggling, we saw that tweet come in about topping the ball. If the chest comes up, the club head's going to come up. And when that happens, that's going to hit the top part of the ball and drive the ball into the ground. The way you make solid contact here is make sure that your chest is to the ground. So as you get in here, when you come through, I want you to feel like your chest is pointing down here. When that starts to happen, you might even get a divot. And that's great, because what we want to do is we want to get that club head into the ground and throw that ball up into the air. And when we throw it up into the air, that's when we get that great strike, that solid hit, and the predictable flight that you're looking for. The hybrid club, I know it's going to help you. Move the ball back, keep that chest down. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
Good stuff, Michael. Well done. That hybrid went straight up into the air. Zach and Brett Waldman. That was the one they were looking for.
It's just a normal one. You don't even have to kill it.
Do not need to hit this very hard. 155?
Well, 65 is your cover, yes. The 60 shot isn't going to hurt you.
Okay, that was my next question. Do we have long? 183?
6, you got 83 long.
Yeah, it's just right at it.
Yep.
Hit him with the high. No, Zach. Get it.
Well, he didn't think that was going to go long, but that's 2 in a row where Zach has taken the longer club and gone long. Michael, these aren't hybrids, but Zach needed to hit that one a little higher, or maybe just got it too high. It got up in the wind. Maybe you should hit the other one. They've been in between. Being in between is rough. Here's Molinari. His number's 156.
In the hole. In the hole.
There you go. It's going to get a little better. Good shot from Francesco Molinari.
Good strike, too, and you could see, you know, you talk about the chest being down, which is what we were talking about, one of the keys to being successful with the hybrid. That's one of the things that you're going to see out here on tour, and particularly when we start talking about Brooks Koepka in the afternoon in our featured group coverage. We're going to see that chest stay down a lot. He's one of the best on tour at keeping his hips back but keeping his chest down, and it's one of the reasons why he hits the ball so solidly and so far.
Up a hill here to the 5th, little halfway house behind this 5th green because it's near the 12th green. You're going to see it a couple of times if you get the chance to come play here at Bethpage. Zach into the back bunker. And this bunker shot is just as tough as being long at 4. Boy, Zach is taking a tour now of places you don't want to be at Bethpage. Left at 3, long at 4, and now long at 5.
This is the thing about these bunkers. They move the ball away from the hole. So you have to make really, really big swings with lots of loft in your short-sightedness. And then hope to spin it, which he was unable to do.
Yeah, landing it on a downslope.
From a downslope.
Yeah, just a mess.
There's a lot of reasons why that was a hard shot.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row that they were stuck in between clubs and wound up going long. Zach wanted to be short at 4. That was clear. Couldn't exactly tell where they were player caddy wise on this one. Ultimately, whatever club Zach had, if you can hit in that back bunker, he could also have finessed it and gotten it to stop right where it is. So it is on the player. That's Zach will be the first one to tell you. And it's only interesting because this is a new player caddy relationship.
Was it a curious decision, I thought, on Zach's part? Damon Green, I think one of the true, maybe the best player in the caddy rank, right? I mean, the experience that he's had.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brett himself, as we mentioned, was a full eligible Web.com Tour player just a couple of years ago. There's a lot of good players out here. I think if they had to play tomorrow, Brett's probably going to beat him.
You think?
If they had to play 10 years ago, it probably would have been Damon. Oh, Brett's just younger.
But relative to experience, which one from inside the rope do you think?
Experience, it's all Damon Green.
Yeah,
100%. They were together for 15 years. Both of Zach's major championships. That's priceless.
Do you think he ends up? Is he on a bag now? Does he have?
He is caddying for Ollie Snyderjans, who smartly snapped him up. Ollie had Lance Bailey on his bag. Lance was the superintendent at the course that Ollie grew up at. Known him since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Good caddy, good guy. And Lance understands, hey, when Damon Green becomes available,
that's your number one draft choice.
Right, you got to go.
Got to remember to hit this. Can get slow going back up this hill. There it is.
That's a nice par save for Zach Johnson. Really good tee shot. And a lot more work than it should have been. Now the drive that Francesco hit that set him up for this approach shot, 327, was his longest drive of the week.
There's so much conversation nowadays about ground force and how to use the ground effectively to create clubhead speed. You know, back when I was learning the game and even into my 20s, the whole concept was you want more distance, you've got to turn more. Make a bigger turn, got to turn. If you don't turn, you can't hit it far. That is true. But what we now understand, particularly with all the advancements in technology, that the use of the ground is a very important part of creating clubhead speed. And I don't think that was a mathematical opportunity there.
24 is when the Ryder Cup is going to come here, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it will be the last time the Europeans come to the States for the Ryder Cup. Because once they get a double dose of that,
they're going to run them out?
They're getting it now. It's 5 years from now. I think they're just going to tell the PGA of America, you know what, we'll see you in Canada. We'll play you in Mexico. The Bahamas is nice, but we're not coming back to the States. Who could blame them?
And here you go, looking at the 6th hole. A lot of different ways that you can take on this 395-yard dogleg left par 4. Many players are laying up to the top of the hill. We saw Bubba Watson earlier in the week take a driver, cut it around there, and have, what do you have, 60 or so yards into this hole location. And today's hole location just 8 paces on and nuzzled up to that right edge. Just 4 steps. I spoke with my friend Jeff Smith, who works with Scott Piercy and Aaron Wise, and he said, you know what? You got to hit driver here. You just got to hit driver here. Get it down to the bottom of the hill. I think if you're a Zach Johnson type player, a little bit more methodical, very confident with putts, as we see on that last hole, you probably lay this up to the top of the hill, because driving it over those bunkers and taking it down to the bottom just isn't worth the risk.
Molinari would be 1 up on Zach Johnson, by the way, today, for the guy that was yelling 2024.
Well, I'm sure he knew that. This looks like a fairway wood, not a hybrid. He was working hard. He and Dennis Pugh, I think, have done some fabulous work. You know, the coaching that's out here on the PGA Tour is so strong in all facets. That may be a little left of where he wants it. Yeah, that was a poor swing. He'll be fortunate, BK, to be in that bunker.
Get a sense now. You watch his shirt, the trees.
Yeah.
See if Zach and Brett can get on the right page here. Getting blustery out there. There you go. A draw wind for a guy that likes to play a draw. And a hole that it fits.
Anxious. And the wind never moved it. And he's in that fairway bunker at the top of the hill.
These guys both just a smidge off right now. We'll see if they can sort it out as we continue feature group coverage.